Good morning, everybody. It's Jane from Surface Anthology and Chalk Mercantile. Happy Monday. Happy first day of spring, March 20th. Here it is. So I decided, in celebration of the first day of spring, I would paint some of these cute little paper mache eggs with some milk paint. So I'm going to use Toscana milk paint in Wisteria, which is this absolutely gorgeous kind of periwinkle blue color. And I'm going to mix up some white, and maybe we'll do some blending or modeling or something like that. So to mix up, I get so many questions about this. To mix up milk paint is super easy. I've got my big giant thing of water here. Ideally, you'll do this at least 20 minutes to a half an hour before you start painting. It's great if you can mix your paint up the night before and let all the pigments and good things in there absorb all the water. So here's the Wisteria, right? Beautiful, beautiful color. Close that up. Now the other thing is, hey Wendy, good morning over on YouTube. You know, you'll read on bags, it says 1:1. 1 part milk paint, 1 part water. And honestly, I go by what I like to mix it to. And usually milk paint is much thinner than regular paint. You could mix it up really thickly if you wanted to. But it's not always 1:1. Different milk paint brands, different milk paint pigments, all take water moisture differently. So some might not absorb as much and get as thick. And then, you know, the opposite could happen. So keep that in mind and start with less. You know, less is more as far as water goes in the beginning. Let me get in here a little bit closer. Ooh, I can't do it. There we go. So you can see. All right. So I'm just going to put in, I'm not even measuring it out, a little bit of water in there. Take my tongue depressor and I kind of mix up like this paste, right? Look at that color. It's so great. And then I add a little bit more water. And the more you use this, you'll get a feel for it, for sure. But you don't want to get into a situation where you add so much water that you're needing to add tons and tons of the milk paint powder. If you do find yourself where it's just so thin, you're running out of powder, you can always leave it out and let it kind of evaporate. Or you can use it as a wash. You can use milk paint as a wash, a stain. It's great. So there it is, right? It's like whole milk now. I'm going to let it sit for a minute because it thickens up also while it's just sitting there. Here's the white, and this one's called Strasbourg white. Same thing. And I think I even added too much water when I just put that in. No, it's okay. So really be conservative when you're adding the water, because you just don't want to make a thinned out washy mess. It's not a mess, you know, it's not the end of the world, but all right. Like I said, you can make it thicker if you want to. This is looking really good. But I am using just mixed up milk paint, which in the real world, meaning you guys, you don't want to do. you want to let it sit. Now, I've got a piece of wax paper here. This is the best thing in the world when you're letting something like these little eggs dry. And I'm grabbing just a little, I have an artist brush here. Because I'm doing something small, I'm using a really small brush, right? And I'm going to keep mixing these. And you'll even see as they sit, see a little bit of like granules rising to the top. That's because they just haven't had a chance to really absorb the water. So keep that in mind. All right, let's paint our egg. And I love, love, love this color. And you see how I'm swishing my brush around? Because all the pigments go right to the bottom. Look at that color. Wow. And I'm going to get pretty messy because you could put these eggs like on a stick, right? Because I'm holding them with my fingers on the side. And I'm just going to leave them, not kind of leave them, I'm leaving it right down on the wax paper. And I'm rolling it around to try to remove my fingerprints. And I'm just going to let that dry and do another one. Now watch what's going to happen, right? Right, Wendy, I know you know this. All of us that have worked with milk paint know this. Actually, all paint, it dries differently, right? When it looks different when it's dry than when it's wet. Oh, you know it, Wendy. I might have that as part of this project when I finish it at the end of the week. You know I love my gilding. All right, same thing with this one. Eggs are so much fun. And I never did a lot of the, I guess when I was a kid, my brother and I would make the dyed eggs, you know, real eggs. And now I just find these easier and I can pull them out every year and play around with them. I can even add, I've painted eggs in the past that I've added gilding to, Wendy, because I love it so much. All right, I'm going to do 3 in this color. Which I love. I love this color. This is one of my favorite colors. Okay. And I'm making a mess naturally. And they're already starting to dry. I think I'm going to try drying them. I'm going to pour a little bit of this water off in case I need clear water today. I'm going to try blow drying them. Let's see what happens. They might roll all over. I think I'll hold it right on top like this. Whoa, I just lost one. Wendy, I have a stray egg. Maybe I'll do this. There we go. I'm sure my dog's gonna find that later. I realize they're too expensive. I know. I love all those memes about the price of eggs. Oh, actually, I'm just gonna hold it now that it's starting to dry. Now look at the difference. Look at this color difference. Right? You see the wet wisteria and the dry wisteria, right? Let me grab this one. knows where that egg went. Oh, that's so funny, Wendy. All right, I'm going to do one more. So I wanted to do 3 like this. So let's finish up this one more, and hopefully it won't roll away. Okay. Now, if I were painting a piece of furniture with this milk paint, I would make it a little bit thicker or wait a little bit longer before I used it. And I cannot emphasize that enough, because you'll be really surprised at how thick it gets just from leaving it to set. Hey Nadine, isn't it gorgeous? I know. I can't get enough of this wisteria color. It's beautiful. It's really a periwinkle. I just love it. All right, let's see if I can get this one dry without it going everywhere. Or dry in an area where I can hold it. Ah! The other colors I love for eggs are the color of songbird eggs, you know, wild songbird eggs, right? Such beautiful muted colors. Martha Stewart was always messing around with those colors. These are very kind of mottled and stuff, just like I wanted. So I'm going to put that aside. Let's see how this strap, see, it's already thickening up. It's amazing. All right, and I'm gonna grab this crazy brush I just washed, and let's try painting an egg. I'll do this one. I had something glued to this, and I poked it off and sanded it, because I'm always experimenting. You can't put, like I was trying to put IOD molds on these eggs, and if they're too big and chunky, they look really big and chunky on these eggs. They like, those bigger molds need to be on, you know, furniture or bigger pieces. Okay, so here's my white. And it really is easy if you get those, kind of those shish kebab sticks to do, you know, there's a little hole at the bottom of these eggs, and then you can just put it on the stick. And it's a little bit easier. All right, I just want to see, and I'm using this wisteria that fell and dripped. I could probably roll my egg around, yeah. Pretty. Now, see this egg? I could dry it, right? Just like this. This is why we're working on wax paper, because you can do your eggs like this and then let it sit, because it's not going to stick, right? To show you guys, let me wipe off my hand. I'm going to grab my blow dryer. It's almost like I need giant tweezers. Good morning, Shannon. Whoa. There it goes. It didn't go far. Look at how cool, right? Really pretty. And that's with the wisteria. Where's my camera? The wisteria and the white. And I just love that. Now I'm going to try the opposite thing. And again, like Wendy said, she mentioned gilding at the beginning. I'm going to be finishing this little bunch of eggs that I have over here in this paper mache holder. to put in a bowl, and I do want to add some gilding to it. But I just love how you can use the milk paint like watercolor on a project like this. I mean, you could do this on furniture if you wanted to, right? Isn't it cool, Shannon? Let me see if I can get this side dry. It's really, it's almost like working, no, it is like working with gouache. If you've ever used gouache, which is opaque watercolor, right? Very pretty. It looks like the sky on that egg. So now let's just do the opposite. I'm going to use this brush and add some white to one of our blue, our Wisteria colored eggs. All right, I'm going to give this a mix. It's almost totally blended now. All those little granules have absorbed the water. All right. Same thing. And you can use a sponge to do this. I'm just using the brush, right? Really cool. Let's dry that. Thank you, Shannon. I appreciate it. Oh, look at how pretty these are. I just love this color. But let's look at it and see what it looks like dry, because that's the moment of truth. Very cool. I love these. I love projects like these. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do like 3 with the white base and the Wisteria kind of going into the paint like that, and then 3 with the blue base and the white. And I want to do just one more thing to show you, because when you put like a wet paint onto a dry paint, you're going to get a very different effect than a wet paint into a wet paint, obviously. So let's put on, I'm looking to see if I have other eggs with a white base. These were all painted with like a white chalk paint base. You can also really go crazy and grab your cracked gesso and put that on your eggs, and then put your milk paint layers and on from there. So I'm gonna do another quick watered down coat of the Wisteria, and prepare to get really messy when you're doing this project. And that's the fun of it. All right, and then dry my hands, rinse my brush. Get some of that white. And put that on. Very cool. And I'm just going to let it sit, because that's really wet. Let's grab a peek here a little bit closer. Yeah, I love that. So now I'm going to try to dry it again with my blow dryer. And you can get these little paper mache eggs everywhere now, I'm sure. I have actually wood eggs, maple, but anything like this, you know what, I'm gonna push these aside so they don't go everywhere. And I'm just holding it with the end of my brush. These really fly. Oh, really cool effect. I mean, it's playing around with opaque watercolor. That's really what it's like. So go grab some paper mache eggs or any shape. You could do any shape at all and mess around with your milk paint. This will also get you ready if you're interested in blending, and we're seeing this with furniture everywhere, but blending your paint on furniture, paint finishes like that, it just looks so super cool, you know? Look at that, beautiful. So what I'm going to do, on Friday, I'm gonna be back here at 11. You guys, I went to make a schedule, as they say, and my husband was texting me from work. We have somebody coming to put up a little fence because we need an area for our dogs to be able to just let them run. And, you know, things were like, he was making me all anxious. And, but I know for sure Friday I'm going to be here at 11. So I'll do a little post a few days before. But what I want to do with these is put a little gilding on here, zhuzh them up a little bit, and then add wax, because this is milk paint and it does need to be protected, right? These are, this is very porous paint, but look at how pretty those are. And you don't have to do it. And you know, it's nice to have a solid color egg here. And in fact, I'm gonna bring this out a little bit. Let's see, out. There we go. These would look so pretty in pink, mauves, those colors that I described, the Songbird egg colors. And if you follow my page, either Surface Anthology or Chalk Mercantile, I have a barn quilt board that I made that's got, it's a star with all these really beautiful kind of earthy tones. Those are all colors that I got from Songbird eggs, which are just really beautiful. So there you go. There's our quick little welcome spring project. Give it a shot, and then join me back here Friday at 11, and we're gonna finish these up. And I have a really pretty little ironstone bowl that I love to just fill with moss and then put the eggs in and then put it on a table and enjoy it. All right, you guys, thanks for joining me. Any questions, as always, just ask in the comments. Everything that I used today is at chalkmercantile.com. Just look under, just search up milk paint. Oh, Shannon, you are so welcome. Happy Monday, you guys. And I will see you again. I might pop in the middle of the week because I got some more new products that I want to show off. But to finish this project, I will see you on Friday at 11.